This. Well, hello, Knights community. This is Mr. Fajardo once again coming to you live from Shadow Hills High School with today's Mental Health Matters Character Strong at Shadow Hills High School. With us this afternoon on January 26th of 2021, we have a few guests with us today. And I'm going to go ahead and start with Dr. Kalkowski, one of our assistant principals here, who has done a fantastic job with us joining us and really providing an opportunity to connect with our parents through this format. So with that, I'm going to introduce our assistant principal, who will then introduce the rest of our guests this afternoon. Dr. K, take it away.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fajardo. It's my pleasure to be with you again for another Knights Parent University, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this January winter day with the beautiful snow in the mountains surrounding the Coachella Valley. We're so very fortunate to be here. We know, as we've survived this whole first semester, how important mental health is. We're very, very pleased to have with us the expert, the man who brings us all together, both as a staff and keeps us healthy, physically, your children, and also us as the staff, Coach Greg Schutnick. He's going to be presenting this afternoon on mental health matters, and he's going to share with you some of the strategies that the teachers use with the CharacterStrong program. He'll also discuss our Knights Do It Right committee and what that means, launching forward into making sure your students and your children feel safe and welcome back at school when that wonderful day does arrive. We also have Devin Dean, who will provide, Devin's back.
Devin is the man.
And Devin will provide the student voice. He'll give us a little bit of what his experience is when the teachers do these lessons. Oh my goodness, and here's Sydney. Hi, Sydney.
Welcome,
Sydney will also share her student experience. So we're so fortunate. We have the coach, we have the students, and then we have our newest member of the administration team, that is Ms. Karen Hernandez, and she's just full of life and bubbliness, and it's wonderful to have you. She also is a veteran member of KDRC and, of course, was an extraordinary math teacher here at our school. So enough of me, and I'm going to turn it over to Coach Schutnick, and I'm going to share my screen and take it away.
And we're going to go ahead and do this also for the benefit of our parents. Para los padres que necesitan unirse en esta reunión, por favor, si pueden marcar el teléfono, pueden llamarle el número que está abajo del screen ahí con la contraseña para ustedes que necesiten la traducción de esta presentación. So, con eso, muchísimas ganas con el señor Schutnick, el coach. Take it away, sir.
Well, thank you, and thank you for those kind words on the introduction there. That was really nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna have trouble concentrating now. Thank you. My name's Greg Schutnick, and I'm one of the PE teachers here at Shadow Hills High School, and also the boys golf coach. And thankfully, the last couple years, I was able to join a wonderfully talented group of teachers for what we call the Knights Do It Right committee. And this strong group of teachers has invested a lot of heart, a lot of soul, a lot of time together, working on trying to build the culture in our school as a safe culture, as a positive culture. Now, we started off through, I believe, as a district initiative, through multi-tiered structures of support, so what we call MTSS. And we took that name and turned it into our own Knights Do It Right committee. And so the beginning goal for us and for the district, for the schools, was to go ahead and focus on discipline. How could we reduce discipline? But before we got there, we had to go through a lot of steps to prep for that. So if we look at our wheel that we have in front of here, we had to start with a teaming system, and that was all the members of our staff who are teachers, administrators, office staff, our nurse, security staff. We have just a wonderful group of committed teachers and staff who are involved in this, again, to make our school culture a safe and positive place to be. From there, we went through some commitments, and this is a slow process. They say this is a 5 to 7 year process. This is officially year 3, I believe, but honestly, since we've been home, we're about a year and a half in from kind of the step backs that we've had to do and some changes that we've done. We originally started off as a discipline committee to decrease discipline, but since we've been home with the pandemic, we've had to change our focus from discipline to academics to attendance, and most importantly, the social emotional learning aspects for staff and for students. You know, we're all learning this together. We're in the process of creating an expectation system. We're in the process in reaching right now a teaching system, which is the CharacterStrong, which I'll get to in just a second. And we're still in the process of how to acknowledge your son or daughter, your child, for what they're doing and doing right. Our Knights do it right, our posture, and then it's about data. We have to figure out a way to go ahead and see if this is all working and where we can go ahead and be better and how we can go ahead and improve everything in our school, again, to maintain our culture of being a positive place to be and a safe place to be for students and staff. And so that takes us to where we want to be, which is CharacterStrong. Here's our posture that we worked on, and here are some of the behaviors. I'll start right there. Thank you, Dr. K. Appreciate that. The Knights do it right posture. This took us a while. You don't think that the respect, integrity, greatness, honor, and teamwork will be a tough thing to agree upon, but we have such passionate teachers and staff who wanted to word it right in administration, that it took us a time to get here, and I think we nailed it with what we expect all Knights to be as a student, as a parent who supports their student, as a staff member who supports everybody in the school. I think we hit it right on the head, with the nail on the head with this. And so that is our posture that is posted everywhere. Every teacher knows it, every student, we call on it. We put it on our PE shirts, okay, so that we can always have a reminder of what Knights do it right means. All right, we can go to the next one, Dr. K. And this is just one of a few matrices that we've created. This one is for us at school, about how a Knight doing it right should behave when they're in the office, how they do it when they're in the school, when they're in the classroom, when they're between classes, during lunchtime, before and after school, even at our sports arenas and in our events. You know, how are we to conduct ourselves? Because again, once you're a Knight everywhere you go. It's not just when we're on campus. When we leave campus, we're still Knights, and we represent everybody in this school. And you always will, even after you're past graduation and moved on to bigger and better things. But this is one of our matrix. We also created a matrix, and I don't think we have that slide, for support with being distance learning, of how to go ahead and to be successful and to possibly give a guide on how to do things the best you can. Honestly, as best as you can, and so just some support. So we'll try and find that. So let me run over to CharacterStrong a little bit. So the team attended some training. Some of the members attended a training this summer on CharacterStrong, and what CharacterStrong is, it's a teaching curriculum of how to keep our students safe at school and how to build a positive culture. It's given us the guide. It's given us the tools as teachers to go ahead and reach out to your student, to teach them how to develop those characteristics that are important of being respectful, having integrity, of greatness, honor, and teamwork. And it's can be used when we're in class, physically, when we return. It can also be used right now as we are apart distance-wise. There are numerous lessons upon lessons, and I want to say that there's probably near 1,000, I bet. And the ones we're focusing on now that we just started, this is week 2 for us as a staff, and for students, is these CharacterStrong lessons that are basically made for us being home, us being apart from each other. I asked Dr. K to go ahead and put up lesson number 2. This is what we did together as a group in our CharacterStrong classes today. And the beautiful thing about this is, if you want to click on that, Dr. K, right there, the screen, it breaks it all down for the teacher. It gives a plan for the teacher. So the teacher comes in and says, hey, puts this on the screen. This is how we're going to start off our day. And you see where it says scavenger hunts, the first one with the hands with the heart. And that's just an icebreaker. That's just to get the students talking, to feel safe, to open up with just some questioning, some activities, and just to bring a little bit of joy and just another way to help connect the students with each other, because we know connection is sometimes lost right now. And so these activities, the scavenger hunting, and there's other activities that we'll see here that just break the ice, that just kind of start things off. It gives us objectives of what we want to accomplish today. So it's not just something that we're just putting together haphazardly. We are following a model that is specific in what we want to accomplish for the day. We want to go ahead and have a guide. You're good, and to tell the kids, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we want you to learn, and this is how we want you to focus on where we can go at the end of this lesson. Here are some relationship first. These are the different activities that we can do in class. They all have just different ideas and different ways to go about just getting the student to open up, getting your child to open up, to share, to connect, to find a common bond with another student, even if we're not together, that we can just kind of connect with somebody. And so these relationship first are wonderful to go ahead and go through. This one here, it's a 6-foot salutation, just a quick way to go ahead and say hi to somebody in your class. And again, these are all modified to us being at home through distance learning. And so again, these are just the warm-ups when it comes to these relationships first. You want to hit the hands and come back to the main screen, Dr. Kate?
For sure. And I'm just wondering if it would be okay right now, students, since you just did this lesson, Coach gave a little bit of an overview. Coach, is it okay if the students chime in a little bit and give their perspective on what do these Character Strong SEL lessons mean to you and how's it been going?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and say something first.
Thanks, Bianca.
Well, personally, from last semester to this semester, it's a huge difference with my classes. Like, there's so much more involvement, and it's kind of crazy to think about it because I have some students who are not in my grade in my class, but they've been opening up so much more compared to last semester, and we're just getting to know them. I've actually built a friendship with one of the girls in the class, so now we're friends. We had something in common from one of the lessons, which was really fun. So now we're friends on Instagram and stuff. So I liked how I gained a new friendship through this, even though we're virtual. And it's through a class activity that I wasn't really expecting to gain a new friend from.
That's an awesome perspective. Thank you, Bianca. Oh my gosh, how nice. Lifelong friends. And just think about that. When you're way older, you'll be able to say, oh my gosh, our friendship started when we were doing the Zoom because we were all together during this pandemic online.
Oh,
it's cut out.
There's a little technical difficulty on her internet connectivity there. But let's get Dean. I'm going to actually have Dean come on in too to kind of give us a little bit of perspective on his end with regard to some of the advisory lessons that have been implemented. So go ahead there, Devin.
So I think that this is a very interesting time, no doubt. It's made it difficult for people to connect to students as well as teachers, right? So being everyone's online, not very many people are turning their cameras on, so it's just difficult to feel a connection. And especially for someone like me that really values connection and values being in the classroom, being with the teacher, being with the students, doing these activities that kind of feels like we're back in the classroom. It feels like we're kind of coming together and we're having some sort of normalcy to this not normal situation, So it's something that we have to deal with. But I do think these Character Strong activities are really helping bring, I guess, I can't think of a word, but togetherness. They're really bringing the classes more together, which I think is something that's really important, especially during this time. We're kind of coming down that home stretch of the last year, and no one really thought we were going to still be distance learning at this point. And so I think everyone's was kind of going down, So I think being able to connect, like I said, really just kind of brings the energy back up in the classrooms and makes the students makes the time more enjoyable in class.
Well said, Devin. We're sort of stuck in limbo. And that's the beauty of Character Strong. It brings us together. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
That connectedness piece is very important. It's actually one of our strong suits here at Shadow Hills High School, how, we're able to kind of connect most of our students, if not all, to just about anything that provides them with some interest. But more importantly, as Coach Schutnick pointed out, that relationships are the foundation of everything that we do. Sydney, I see you're in the frame now, so welcome, Miss Elm. Any insight as to how things have been going with the CharacterStrong curriculum for advisory?
Yeah, so mine is a little bit different, I guess. I definitely do like this just a lot better than what we have been doing with our regular SEL, just because it is something different. And I do apologize. I am currently at work, so if you hear the phones ringing, that's where I'm at right now. But in my class that I'm in, I am in AP Research, so there's only about 9 kids in that class, and that's the class that I do the CharacterStrong in. And I really do like it just because even though I've had these same kids for 2 years now in my class, like even when you're surrounded by so many people, you think you know them until you find out that you don't. That's just the easiest way to find out, right? So there's 10 people in my class, and I thought that I knew them, maybe not on a very personal level, but still to the point like, oh, I know what they kind of like to do. But then when we started doing those questions, especially on the first lesson that we did, where it was just kind of getting to know us, whether it was why were you named this? What nickname would you like? Just that specific lesson really helped us to open up to each other. And even though we don't talk a lot in that class, at least all together, we were able to do it in a big group instead of partners, where I know the bigger classes are doing in breakout rooms. I just felt it was very beneficial, especially for my class, just because it is a small number of people, that it's so easy to become connected to people, even though even when you're in school, you already have your own friend group, and it's so easy just to be in your own corner and not have to talk to anybody else other than your immediate friend group. Just having these CharacterStrong lessons, I feel are so much more beneficial for the students. And it doesn't even have to be talk about the pandemic, because at times it can become overwhelming if that's all we're talking about. And these CharacterStrong lessons are actually helping us to talk about different things than just be focused on what's happening right now in the world, where it is so crazy. So I definitely love this, and just the different aspects and different lessons that are coming in. And it's not the same thing over and over again, which I know some people can get really tired of things very easily. So with having different icebreakers and stuff like that, I just like it a lot more. And I know a lot of my fellow students do as well.
Thank you for sharing that, Sydney. Well said. I'm going to defer for just a moment here too, and let's hear from Ms. Hernandez, Ms. Karen Hernandez. Talk a little bit about the inception of CharacterStrong and maybe the upcoming conference.
Yes, so we had the opportunity to extend professional development to some of our teachers, to all of our teachers, and those who were able to sign up, who had the time based on the dates that we were given, they signed up. And so we're super excited to see what comes out of that. We have 11 teachers that signed up and showed interest out of the 2 professional development opportunities that we have. And so I'm just excited to see what else they can bring back from the conference itself, because the curriculum itself is so in-depth, and it really allows for the teacher to just grab and go. It doesn't take any planning on their part. And I think that's crucial right now with the situation that we're in with distance learning. You already have to plan for your curriculum. It was completely something new that happened to us. And to be able to just come quickly, take 5 minutes and read it and say, I got this, let's go. I think that really supports our teachers and gives them some comfort that they don't have to plan an additional lesson. And so that was something that was key for us when we were looking for an SEL curriculum, is what can we find that's out there that is going to support our teachers, and it's easy to read, easy for anyone that just jumps on board and reads the lesson. And I think the beauty of it that also stands out in our curriculum is it also comes in Spanish. So to have a curriculum that's bilingual, right, that targets our Spanish-speaking population, that is amazing, because not only are we just serving one language, we're also serving the other language. And I think that's really important to have inclusivity within our population here. And I'm just excited to see what happens. And I really, really look forward to the coming months, because I want to know more from the students. How have they seen it, the growth, the comparison from first semester to second semester, and truly just make it a part of our culture here at Shadow Hills High School.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ms. Hernandez.
You're welcome.
The only other thing is, of course, this is for parents, so now you're informed about what your children are experiencing with their teachers with CharacterStrong. There's also a little clip here. I've got Baldwin Park Family Night. That's CharacterStrong actually having a family night. And if I can have a screen share for, just say that fast 10 times.
Right,
Screen share. I'll just show a little bit of this. This gives an idea of what the organization and how they reach out to families. And just wait, families, we might have them come and do this with you.
In other words, it doesn't matter. My mom took twice as many steps that day as she had on any day before. And it got me thinking, what is it about Wonderful that makes her so memorable? What made her different from all the other nurses that, as I thought about it more, they all have the same set of responsibilities. In fact, all of them are supposed to administer medication, report back to the doctor, manage IV lines. And it's occurred to me that it's entirely possible to do everything that we're responsible for and still not be wonderful at our work. I realize it's entirely possible to get everything done on our to-do list and still maybe not have fulfilled that who we want to be list. Now, Wonderful was competent at her work. She got her job done. But alongside it, in fact, with just as much priority, just as much passion, she made sure that she made time to come in singing, to give hugs, to comfort, to learn names. And it's shown through in her work, and it's shown through in the fact that nurse, my mom, has gone back to visit in the time since. I think about that distinction for me between my to-do list and my to-be list. I feel this right now in your world, but I think our world currently, our culture, COVID or not, asks us to be busy all the time. I think we probably all have very long to-do lists. And I think there's something about our world that makes us feel like we're supposed to be busy all the time. That when we're busy, we feel valuable or important or worthwhile. That our definition of success is how productive we are. So we'll constantly start to get things done. And maybe you're like me, sometimes I'll write down something I've already done just for the satisfaction of checking it off. But I don't know about you, for me personally, when I get busy, when I get overwhelmed, when I get buried in my to-do list, those to-be list items fall to the bottom. I think we all want to be present with our family, grateful in our day-to-day world, kind to ourselves and the people around us and our community and beyond. But to be a thing requires energy and effort and time. And when I'm busy, it typically bottom of that list. I read a great article a few years ago called "Are You As Busy As You Think?" And it asked me to change the way I thought about time. It said, what if I was not allowed to say to myself, I don't have time for this? What if I wasn't allowed to say that to the people that I care about? What if I had to say it like this? It's not my priority. It's not to have this conversation right now. It's not my priority to hear what you're going through, to practice kindness. I have too much to do. For me, that changed my frame, the way that I looked at it. Practical offer. First practical strategy tonight would be to create a to-be list. In fact, I have one right here. Maybe you have a that goes on and on and on, and it feels never ending. And what if above it every day you just wrote a one item to-be list? In fact, we do this at CharacterStrong organizationally. We have a group channel where we communicate with each other, and every single day we write down our work goals. I wanted to show you this because this was from today. At the top of my to-do list, I have my to-be item. Today, I wanted to be celebratory. I felt like I was a little bit negative yesterday, so I wanted to find 3 opportunities to celebrate people for progress or ideas. Angela, my 3 today, I want to celebrate you for the enthusiasm you brought to the morning earlier, the kindness that you gave me, and the willingness to show up to all of these pieces. I feel like you're so invested. And I want to celebrate that for you today. If I could knock out right now, Christina, thank you for your leadership, your kindness. I could tell in the compliment you gave me how heartfelt you meant it and how much you believe in the role that you play. And Sael, look at this man. Go He's just crushing it in the background. This will be a fun exercise in self-love. Ziel, I am powerful. I am thoughtful. I am qualified. I am purposeful. I work out, it looks like. So that's what.
All right, families. Well, that gives you a little bit of a glimpse of Houston Kraft, who was one of the organizers, the early organizers of CharacterStrong. And we're just really fortunate to have had the support of Mr. Fajardo, because these things do cost, but it's part of our goal to make sure that your child feels very safe and welcome and develops a character, which is to be a knight that does it right. So any other remarks you'd like to make, please, Coach or kids or Ms. Hernandez or Ms. Fajardo?
Can I jump in? Because that was our lesson today, our to-do list and our to-be list that we did. And it's interesting that he talked about that. And, you know, it's doesn't feel like a badge of honor to be busy all the time anymore. But, you know, it was wonderful to hear the responses of today's kids, you know, with Devin and Sydney and Bianca and in my class of their to-be list, you know, and one of them was they want to encourage more. They want to be more of an encourager after, you know, our talks today. One of them wanted to just be kinder to his sister, you know, and that's it, just a simple little gesture like that. I put down for my kindness, I'm going to send, I sent 3 positive postcards today, you know, and that's what I wanted to. Present was my other one. I just want to put my phone down and be present with my family and my wife. And so parents, you're listening, ask every Tuesday your child, how did CharacterStrong go today? Because one of the things that I really liked about this curriculum was the parent, that we could involve parents, that we can reach out and incorporate them into this learning, because we all can learn to do better. And I think as we move forward, I'm going to finish up here. You know, we'll have more resources as we continue to develop our Knights Wellness Center that you can access here shortly online of how to you know, talk about these characteristics and how to talk about some of these social, emotional learning opportunities that we have, you know, with our families, with our friends, with our teammates, with our classmates, wherever it may be. So that's what I have there. So if there's anything else I can offer, I'd be happy to stick around and do whatever I can for everybody. And thank you for my students here, Devin, Sydney, and Bianca. That was cool feedback. And I'm sorry, one last thing. We're learning. The teachers are learning how this program, the curriculum is working, and we're going to get better at it. And give us a couple weeks, and it should be flowing for all of us. And I think you're going to see a lot more good, positive feedback like Devin, Sydney, and Bianca shared with us tonight. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Coach. Inspirational. Thank you, kids, so much. Thanks, Ms. Hernandez. And that was outstanding. We so appreciate it. Anything, Mr. Fajardo?
I was just going to say, Dr. K, I think, you know, Coach was onto something when he said, you know, when we all agreed that the parent component piece is so important. You know, one of the things that we thought of with CharacterStrong is it does provide the opportunity to provide our students with a voice, you know, obviously hitting home with different topics that oftentimes go sort of by the wayside. You know, I refer to this as the unhidden, or actually, excuse me, the hidden curriculum, right? These are opportunities to really kind of talk about character building. And if we're really kind of walking, you know, our talk with respect to our posture, when we say Knights do it right, it means something. There's meaning behind that. And so having stated the fact that the parent component is a huge part of it, parents, we really want your voice in this. In fact, our next segment here has a lot to do with garnering, you know, parent input and providing you an opportunity with voice. So this way we can really kind of work with the district in developing, you know, our local control accountability plan, our LCAP plan, which Dr. K will speak to here, our continuity plan, right, in just a moment. So with that, I just wanted to say thank you to our students. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Ms. Hernandez, for all the incredible work that you've done, all of our teachers, our counselors, you know, our families, and we really look forward to continuing to implement this curriculum and really providing an opportunity for us to really get to know your kids that much better. So with that, thank you.
Have a wonderful rest of the evening, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If I may, Dr. K, I wanted to add one more thing about CharacterStrong. When parents, when you ask your children about CharacterStrong on Tuesday, ask them, what was your character dare? Because
There you
every
go.
lesson has a character dare, and that dare lasts an entire week. So they have an entire week till the next Tuesday, and that's when they talk about it. And that character dare focuses on a word of the week. That character dare has a word. So when this Tuesday, if you have time, you know, when you are with your family, ask your child, hey, Devin, hey, Bianca, what was your character dare? Sydney, tell me a little bit about your character dare. I want to know, can we help you meet your dare for the week? Because that's another way that we can involve families together, is meeting that character dare, or maybe talking about it a little bit more as to why they feel a little hesitant of meeting the dare. So I dare you, parents, to ask your child about character dare.
Nice. Ba-boom.
There you go.
Well done, Hernandez.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to take this moment then because our students have to go and get their homework done. Cindy's at work, for crying out loud. Thank you, Sydney. Thank you to your employer. Tell them we said thank you so much for allowing you to share with us today. All right.
Enjoy
Bianca,
it. Good night. Thanks, Coach. Say hi to the fam.
bye now.
Thank you. So long.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. All right, Dr. K.
There we go. Let's see what I got up next.
Moving on to LCAP 101, right?
LCAP and the 321 of Desert Sand Unified School District's Local Control and Accountability Plan. Oh my gosh, I'm stumbling over my words. I'm going to skip around a couple slides here because this is the acronym. These are accountability acronyms. Now, let me just pause. Many of you last month, if you joined us, we talked about the Panorama Survey. And that distinctly is for site feedback. That was parents, students, stakeholders on what we're doing at the school. And that was perfect timing because we had just finished our WASC. So everybody had fresh in their brain, new ideas, ways to make the school even better than it already is, improve, look at our goals. Now the district has sent out the LCAP survey, and the importance of this and the delineation, Mr. Fajardo said earlier, this is the district scope. So in other words, not just our school, but the larger network of how our school infuses and works into our district. And you get another opportunity for a voice. So please look for that survey. I'm going to go jump down to this slide here. January 18th to February 19th, parents, please check even in your spam folders, just in case it went there, the link for providing your information and data. And short. This one's shorter. Did you take this, Mr. Fajardo, Ms. Hernandez? This one's quicker. Okay, if that makes you feel anybody, parents.
Yes,
right?
it is. Definitely a lot more user-friendly. There's less questions, so definitely could require everybody's feedback on this one.
Yeah, it's a real 3-2-1. And I have for you here highlighted in case you don't find it in your email, you can go to the Desert Sands website and there are links for you to be able to access the survey. So what we're talking about, I've got this little fun PowTown. I'll play this little gal and she's going to point out, and Nathan, you're on there, so you'll be translating, please, into Spanish. This is the PowTown overview, and I'm just going to show a few minutes of it, of LCAP. Some fun little music. She doesn't talk, she just waves at us. That's okay. Show me the money. Three-year plan. 3-2-1. Wait for it. There we go. Very special. And so I'm just going to pause her, oops, and get you out of there. And here are those 8 that they're just talking about, state priorities. So that was a little bit of an overview. Basic necessities, the implementation of state standards, access to courses, and I hope that word jumped out at you, equitable. The whole point here is, and this is such a drastic change from when I first started in education, the focus is on really targeting groups who have been overlooked for too long. And all of a sudden, we're becoming more conscientious of being equitable. With access to courses, the student achievement, you saw the metric, graduation rates, other student outcomes, parental involvement. That's why we're here with you tonight, parents. Our student engagement and school climate. And that goes back to Coach Shutnick and talking about CharacterStrong and what that means. Those are our 8 state priorities. There are conditions of learning, the student outcomes, and engagement. So back to the acronyms, just a quick review. This is my old-timey teacher self. We have the LCFF, which is the local control funding formula, the LCAP, which is what you're taking the survey on, the local control and accountability plan. Remember, it's 3 years, 3, 2, 1, and our LCP, which is the learning continuity and attendance plan. That's been a little bit funky with the fact that we're in distance learning. We've done quite a bit of adjustment. Right, Ms. Hernandez, with attendance. She's our new attendance person, administrator on campus, and it's been a wild ride, but very important because while we recognize there has been some disengagement, we have not forgotten, and we're continuing to reach out, and the state is emphasizing that as well. So that's maybe a talk for another time, but just so you know, parents, there's a weekly engagement log. These things do matter. I know if I was a parent still of a child in school, they're off in college now, but I'd want to know that the state is really recognizing that a teacher is putting down in a log what it is that they're doing during their synchronous and asynchronous time. And we're capturing data from that. And that's important because it holds people accountable. It holds the teachers who are certainly working so incredibly hard, but also the state in really saying, okay, yeah, they've put a lot of energy into this. Now we need to provide them the funds and support. So please know that the attendance is important. And then our BOP, which is our budget overview for parents.
And Dr. K, just for the benefit of the families knowing, so how can they expect to get access to the LCAP survey? Is that an email that was sent to everybody?
Yes. Yeah. It was an email that was sent to everybody. So, you know, and check your spam folders. That's what I hear from a lot of parents, is that it goes to spam and then it gets lost. But the other way you can do that is you can go to Desert Sands website. I think I've got a slide on here. Yeah, there you go. So that little arrow and it's pointing. And if you go to the Desert Sands website, when it pops up, it shows our wonderful nutrition services. And you go on there and you can also access the survey through there. Good question. Thanks for pausing on that.
Yes. And the feedback that we've received from a couple of the parents for the rest of the parent community out there is there are 23 questions and they're broken up into different sections. Mm-hmm. The first section is demographics. So there's a couple questions. Tell me about yourself. Right. Tell me what school you're associated with. And then it goes over the 3 goals, the district goals. Goal 1 is academic achievement. There's about 3 or 4 questions about that. Goal 2 has a lot to do with our rigorous and engaging coursework. There's about 3 or 4 questions there. And then with goal 3, which is our safe environment, our school connectedness piece, again, just another handful of questions. And so we really would appreciate any feedback you can provide us with. So this way we can share this alongside with our district, in addition to providing you an opportunity for your input, because your voice does matter, parents, and we want to thank you for that.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. You covered some of those, and I would like to just please give credit to Miss Kristen Wood, who is the LCAP lady. She's used to be in this office where I am right now. Now she's down at Desert Sands, and she is the LCAP lady, district coordinator for LCAP. And so I'm very grateful to her. She partnered. She said, go ahead and purpleize that thing. And she created these slides. So that's a really good overview. She's also somebody who you can also reach out to and is the expert in this. It's a big job, a lot of data collection, a lot of prompting, a lot of support we receive as administrators from the district, and we're very, very grateful for that. And parents, just please take that time. If you have any questions, call the school, call down here, and we'll help you get logged on. I'd love to be able to show you, and it's just easy as peasy. So anything else, anybody? With that, I'm going to stop sharing.
I'm going to let Mr. Hernandez give us the final words, and then we'll end our broadcast for Knights Parent University. Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Fajardo. I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. I want you to know that our teachers are trying really hard. We're doing all of our parts and working together to make sure that our students are feeling safe online, that they are feeling the support of our teachers, the support of our administrators. So thank you for being parents and for being involved and for just being here today with us. We are happy to be here and to help you out. Like Dr. K said, reach out to us. We are here in the office. Reach out to the attendance office. We are here to help, to answer any questions. And I hope you all have a beautiful Tuesday night with this weather. I know it's a little chilly. This morning, there was ice on my windshields for the first time. I was like, oh my goodness. But I hope you all have a beautiful night. And don't forget to ask about the character dare.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.